Uh,
When were you gonna tell me?
I don't know. I was just waiting for the right moment.
You thought this was the time?
Maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like it just came out, okay? I don't know. This seemed like the best time, yeah.
Well, I think you know what you need to do.
You're right. Is that not it?
What?
Is this wrong?
Why, why would it be? See, the lesson learned here is that what is wrong?
Now, I think we have to take
And
a
that's
look
right.
at...
No, don't.
Oh,
Don't try to. No.
okay.
You were gone for a month.
Yep.
Go.
I was in the Columbia River Gorge.
The gorge.
The gorge, where the Columbia River cuts through the earth. And it was fun
Okay.
and snowy and cold.
Name 3 things that were cool, 3 things that weren't, and 3 things you wish happened.
Okay. So one thing that was cool was my first night I went in and did like 2 open mics, and I met some really cool people. The second cool thing that happened is on that first night, I got offered to do a 10-minute spot on like a weekly show called Preach at the Pope House.
To the choir.
That's right, which is a bourbon bar.
Oh.
And then the third cool thing was I met a cool girl.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like, I don't know, any information about her?
Nope.
All right.
We just met. It wasn't like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
Okay. 3 things that weren't cool.
Okay, 3 things that weren't cool. Number 1 was the ice storms that happened. So it like was freezing rain. So like it just like was layering inches and inches of ice on everything. And that was really annoying. Another not cool thing was that they pre-closed both highways into Portland for the storms. Like this, it wasn't even snowing or anything yet. They were just like, it's gonna snow, so we're shutting down the highways, which is ridiculous. Third not cool thing is that Portlanders will just ditch their cars on the freeway when there is a snowstorm. Like they'll just be like, nope, not driving in this, and they'll park on the freeway and like just leave their car.
Portland, what's up with that?
Drive your car. Like what?
You got it. You might as,
Just go slow.
yeah.
That's all it takes.
You cross that bridge when you do. You can't cross the bridge if you don't get over it.
If you're not even going to the
If you
bridge,
just
how are you going to
stop
cross the bridge?
on it? Yeah. Highly negative, I'd say.
Yeah.
That goes to show, it's easy to be negative,
Mm-hmm.
especially when someone asks you to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the hardest time to not be negative.
Yeah.
But you gotta not.
Honestly, though, that third thing could also count as a cool thing because then you just get to go walk around a bunch of abandoned cars and see what's going on in them,
True.
which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a zombie movie.
Yeah. What's like if there were zombies and you found 3 abandoned cars, what are 2 items? You're gonna smash all the windows, hoping to find 2 common car items to fight with. What do you want to hopefully find?
Like a lot of people keep like sticks or like in their car, like baton type items to like in case of
Probably more baton than sticks.
Some of them are just like wooden
Just ripped off a tree.
things, not like that kind of stick. I guess more like a small baseball bat. Like the fucking beaters in Quidditch in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
It's like their sticks, kind of.
Yeah.
The little bludgeoners. I'd look for some kind of bludgeoning item. A knife, probably. Some snacks. A water bottle.
I only said 2. You're good.
You said 3 cars, 2 things from each
No,
car.
it's just like hoping to like a common car thing.
Portable DVD player.
Assuming one car didn't have like a crowbar.
Portable
something.
DVD player with Sausage Fest.
Yeah.
On Blu-ray.
Most cars, I think, come standard with that.
Yeah.
At least after like 2008 or something.
Tire iron, I guess.
A tiring.
Tire. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah.
Do you want me to go over the 3 things I wish that would have happened?
Yes.
Okay. I wish that the rapture had happened. I also wish that there had been some sort of chemical mishap at a factory that I was driving next to, and like the radiation from the factory gave me like superpowers in the form of, like frog man. I can like jump really far and like stick to walls and stuff and like stick out my tongue and like catch shit.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Really cool.
And then like the last really cool thing that I wish would have happened is I wish that on my Alaska flight today, I wish that my plane door would have ripped off on takeoff.
You do?
Yeah. Really good story.
Yeah, if you could tell it.
Yeah.
Do you think
Did you not see that happened? There was a flight taking off in Portland a couple of days ago, and the like door ripped off during takeoff, and like the kid sitting closest to it, his shirt got like ripped off out of the door, and like his phone and his laptop and stuff.
Now they have to park the plane on the bridge.
And SNL did like a really good skit about it on their like comeback episode on Saturday, but they were like, at Alaska Airlines, we're doing things like to make sure you're safe, like taking off with the slide out on it. And it's like the plane is like flopping with the slide. And they're like, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up a few bolts.
That's sick.
I was like really close on my flight, like when we were taking off. I'm like, hey, you guys like checked all the screws on the plane, right? Like, but then I feel like probably a lot of like older dads were probably doing that in the last couple of days to flight attendants.
Like,
I don't want to be that guy.
It's like dads come in like, looks good.
But I was looking out the window. I was like, the seams in between those panels seem wide apart for a airplane that's gonna fly right now.
The stewardess comes up and is like, what are you worried about? Why do you care so much? Don't even look at it. Close the fucking window. Paranoid bitch. Ugh. Don't worry about it. It's like when your friend's car is breaking down and they just keep turning the
music up so you don't hear it. It's like, what's that rattling? Shut up.
Yeah. My shut up was just because you were talking, but it's cool that you also said that about what we were saying. But
that is cool. Apparently there was also an Alaska pilot who he was on shrooms while flying and just turned off the engines.
I'm sure he had a good vision as to why.
Yeah, he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah, I mean, must have been convincing.
Honestly, just like, Mount Hood is looking mighty pretty today. You know what would make it better? If I crashed this plane full of people into it.
I couldn't help but notice the lack of plane tails sticking out of Mount Hood.
Every good mountain I know has a couple plane tails sticking out.
Because I put them there. When I'm not filming Indiana Jones, I'm crashing my plane. Do you know Harrison Ford's crashed his plane like 5 times? I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
Let
god.
me make sure that's a true thing.
That makes sense. Do you remember a couple years ago when the guy like fucking went posted a video on YouTube of him being like, my engines are cutting out, I gotta ditch the plane, and then he jumps out of his plane and just films it crash into the side of a mountain and then like lands in a tree and like went back and like took all the like shit and burned it all, and then he like got in trouble because he did it on purpose for YouTube video views basically, and went to prison for it.
Sorry, I was three plane incidents.
Harrison Ford.
I'm sorry.
I explained that way too complicated and long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you run it by me again?
Okay, so a couple years ago there was a guy and he was like a pilot who did like YouTube pilot shit or whatever and like YouTube extreme sports stuff, like kind of like very like the way that he kind of approached his shit was like, I'm a guy from a mountain town and I do all these extreme sports, but we do a lot of flight videos of like backcountry flying. And one day he posts this video and it's like, my plane engine goes out mid-flight. And so you watch the video and he's like, my engine is cutting, uh-oh. And then he immediately, without like even trying to start it up, just grabs a fucking parachute. And it's not like an emergency parachute. It's like this is an important part of the story because it's basically what got him caught. It was like an actual like skydiving parachute. And he like just fucking jumps out the plane with his GoPro on, and then he's like parachuting down and he films his plane like crash into the mountain.
Was it David Lesh?
No, it wasn't David Lesh, but he's been in trouble for
Didn't he do like
something similar to that too, I think. He also he's been in trouble a lot for like snowmobiling in areas that like are not meant to be sled in, and like taking shits. Like he got in trouble one time for taking a shit in like a fucking national park or something and taking a picture of it and posting it.
Yeah, it was in like a spring.
And then he like, I didn't actually shit, you guys. You can take a picture and like not be.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, the judge was like, no, you're a piece of shit. And I know you did that.
Yeah.
Which he probably did because it's David Lesh, let's be honest.
First drop, last call, baby.
What I call first drop.
I had a thought today. It's really random, but it's how I feel a lot of the time. Have you seen the movie Elf?
Yeah.
Okay. So after he meets Walter, he spends the night and they have that dinner where he eats the
spaghetti with the syrup.
Spaghetti. Yeah. So the next day, Buddy's making pasta for everyone for breakfast, and Walter comes down, and Buddy's like, Dad, I made you whatever. And then Walter goes, I'll stick with coffee now, thanks. And then there's this quick clip there of Buddy emptying the noodles back into the pot, but his face, he's like, okay. That's how I always feel.
Ow. Didn't hurt, but
Probably a surprise.
It was. That's hilarious. I know that feeling.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, buddy.
Sorry. You got your coffee. You're good.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Too good for me.
Most people are.
Yeah. That was a thought.
It's a fun thought.
Yeah.
A fun thought.
It's a good thought.
It's a really fun thought.
If you've ever had thoughts, leave them in the comments below or above, wherever they may be.
I also watched an old Nick Cage movie called Con Air.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the voice that Nick Cage does in that movie specifically is like the most Nick Cage voice, you know?
He's got the best.
It's like it's like if fucking It sounds like when Andy Samberg does his fucking Nick Cage impression, but like more exaggerated.
It's like if Nicolas Cage was doing it.
It's honestly like he is doing a bad impression of himself, and it's fucking hilarious. But he's got like really long hair, and he just like, I don't know, he kind of just acts fucking really stupid the whole time, and you're like, this is what I want from Nicolas Cage. I want him to punch people hard, and I want him to not understand what people are saying to him.
Like Samson at the airport.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man.
I also saw a good movie. I watched Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman movie.
Oh yeah.
It's up there with Singing in the Rain for me now.
Is that one the biopic?
Yeah.
Like with Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one they made that documentary about it a few years ago.
Yeah, where Jim like went crazy pretending to be Andy Kaufman. Yeah.
It's really good.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out.
It's a banger.
I'll have to check it out.
I also watched 2 seasons of Smash. The only 2 seasons. I watched all of Smash.
Smash. What's Smash?
It's a music. It's like adult Glee.
Oh, Glee's not for adults.
Same like gist as
Oh,
Glee,
it's
but
the characters are adults. Okay, I get it.
It's like same kind. Yeah, sometimes they bust out into song. Not quite as much. A lot of the songs are original. Not all of them. And it's just a bunch of Broadway people.
That sounds good. Have you ever seen Another Period?
No.
It's a Comedy Central show that came out in like 2015, and they did like 3 seasons, but it's written by Natasha Leggero. And it's like about like Victorian era, kind of like 1800s rich people.
Nice.
And it like fires off the funniest fucking shit I've seen in a while, like on TV. Like, I'm surprised they only did 3 seasons of it. And I had never heard of it or anything, but like in one of the scenes, they're like Natasha Leggero and like this other lady, I forget her name, but she's the other writer and creator of the show. But they're like these rich white ladies, like fancy proper. And in like the first episode, they're like, we want to join the Newport 400, the 400 most important white people in Newport or whatever. And like, it just goes into like shit like that. And you're like, oh, this is hilarious. And then like one of the butlers gets ravished by like some woman. And then they're like talking about how like ravishing jokes, some say they're not funny, but like because that's, I'm explaining this very poorly. But there's one scene in the very beginning where Natasha Leggero and the other writer, they're like fucking having the maids like perfume their huge bushes and like comb them. And that part was fucking hilarious to me. And like, then there's this one guy and he you gotta watch. I mean, fuck, dude, people have to watch this show. It's so hard to like explain it and like sound like I'm not just a racist piece of shit. Because all the jokes are super racist, but it's like they're acting as like people from the 1800s, so they're like really diving into like how shitty those kind of people were, and it's like really funny because you're like,
yeah,
they're playing off of history.
It sounds funny.
It is funny.
I believe
it's hard to like explain it and not do it poorly.
What is it called again?
Another Period.
Well, fucking there you go. Google it.
I wish I could explain it better.
Put that on the Portland Bridge.
Sometimes I wish I just could like open my mouth and like instead of like words coming out of them that from me, it's just like a replay, like a recording of like whatever I want to explain to someone, just like
You could just think a little bit before we talk.
I guess
that's kind of what that is.
I guess so. I mean, I could do that.
You're like, this is what I want to say. Should I say it? Tweak this, change that, take that out. Why am I?
You think that much about sentences before you say them?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's crazy. to me.
So should I like ask you a question, see like how quickly you answer it? But it should be like a long answer to see like if your mouth can go faster than your brain.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, with how cold it is right now, what's the quickest way you think you could dig a 10-foot hole in the yard? Go.
Oh my
Hurry
god.
up.
Okay. Fuck. I'll take like a torch, like a blowtorch, and like blow on the top of the ground for a while. And then I'd like go get fucking like a bucket of water and pour that on it, and then I'd start digging, and then I would like repeat the process, like blowtorch, water, dig, blowtorch, water, dig, blowtorch, water, dig. 10 feet
I saw
in, I don't know, 3 days.
it was like you were running down a hill and about to fall, and then you got back up or it flattened out or something.
Like,
The middle of that was, but I knew what you were getting at.
or just go to the fucking, I guess I'd go rent a
Yeah.
hole digger.
I don't know what this experiment was supposed to do.
I don't know either.
I don't think it proved if your mouth or brain is fast or slow. Yeah, I don't know why we did that. I don't know why you encouraged it. I don't know why you haven't shaved in a while. Why not? You don't have water at
That actually did happen a few times. The power would go out and there would be no water for multiple days.
Mhm.
Just kidding. That only happened twice for a day each. But no, it's because I brought my razor and I wasn't able to fly with my razor blades because I use like a single blade razor.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any while I was there
Mm,
in the small town grocery stores. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to let the mustache go for the whole time I'm here and see what happens.
great.
Just see how it looks.
Yeah.
And then I like would use like a buzzer on the rest like twice. But yeah. Twice.
Great call.
Since before I left. Looks great, huh?
Hmm. You know, it's not my thing.
I know.
But do you like it?
Not really. I kind of hate it. It's it's a lot of hair on the top of my lip, and I keep like
Something about it.
feeling it with my tongue, and because it feels funny when you feel it. Like I don't. It like it. It's funny though.
That's gross. It's icky.
There's like beer in it, and you're like,
Yeah.
shit gets in it, and that's annoying. Like water sticks to it and stuff. And my lip has gotten really chapped because I'll like go like this a lot,
Yeah.
and it's creepy.
It is.
It's kind of creepy, and I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to shave.
Nice.
It's itchy too,
Yeah. I bet.
and it makes me sneeze.
Mm.
And then there'll be like random mustache hairs in my mouth, and I'm like, ew, what is this? A pube? And it's like, basically,
Technically.
it's a facial pube. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I've been sneezing a lot more.
Sure.
I think dust gets in it.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's gross.
Looks like it.
I was taking care of chickens. Chickens are fucking scary.
Sure. Why?
They're just like little velociraptors.
Okay.
And like when you have chickens,
Mhm.
they roost, right?
Right.
Okay, so sometimes they like to roost like in the rafters of like a chicken coop.
What do roosters do?
They are they're just assholes. They fight.
Keep going.
So the like I would
Chickens.
walk into the fucking chicken coop to like fill the water or like do something.
Mm.
And all 8 of them are like in the rafters above. Just like staring at you
Mhm.
and like that kind of noises.
Right.
And I don't like that. And they're like side eyeing you the whole time, like fucking. And then every now and again, one shits on you.
Mm-hmm.
But free eggs is nice.
Mm-hmm. What to say to that? Let's see. I've been chased by a rooster before. I've never been shat on by a chicken. I've petted a chicken. One time, there's this place where you can get pheasants if you're training your dogs for bird hunting. And my dad,
Like live ones?
yeah, you get them, and there's these little boxes you put them in. You hide them around in the hills, and then your dog goes, and then you hit a button, and that thing opens, bird flies out, and you shoot it. But our friends, neighbors recently got chickens, and I was into animals, and I was like, I want animals, but we weren't gonna get any. But then my dad was doing the pheasant thing, and I went with him, and we had like 6 in the back of our car, and I was like, Dad, I want to fucking hold one. And he was like, you can hold one. And then I held it for the whole drive. And then at the very end of the drive, my dad hit a speed bump. And then the pheasant went crazy. And pheasants have big spurs on the back of their legs. And it went. And then it just hung out in the back for the rest of the drive.
Pheasants can also like actually fly.
Yes. Yes, they can. Not very well in a car. About as well as you and me.
Oh my god.
We're pretty equal when it us versus birds, they ain't shit when there's a ceiling.
There
In here, we would fuck a bird up.
It was like so cold and the power went out there, so I was like call my dad to be like, hey, like what should I do about the chickens? Because they're gonna freeze. And he's like, oh, you could either there's a generator in the garage. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just go get that. But he's like, but you could also bring the chickens into the house and put them in the bathroom and have a chicken party. And I was like, that sounds
dope.
Really fun. And then I went down to the chicken coop and I had a chicken in my hands and I was like walking up and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. These chickens are gonna shit all over the bathroom. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't have a chicken party. So I went and I got the generator,
waterproof,
and I had a chicken party in the chicken coop.
Right.
I just didn't feel like cleaning up afterward the chicken party, honestly. If there was more people with me, I probably would have been like, yeah, let's let it rip.
Chicken party, chicken party. I'm just picturing your dad had a name for it, which I like to think that your dad takes baths with chickens.
They're kicking around at the top.
Yeah. Maybe your dad takes like a little one and puts soap on it and uses it.
Oh my god. He probably does, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why wouldn't it work?
I literally don't know.
There's more than one coop when it comes to chickens. Chickens freeze?
Chickens will freeze to death, yeah.
Why can't they just handle it?
That's a question for chickens, Max.
Well, I'm just like, really? You're people with lots of chickens, they just freeze on them?
I mean, if you just leave a chicken out in the weather, yeah, they'll fucking freeze. If it's a -15,
for
a person would freeze in that.
I don't think animals would though. They're built for out there.
But
I think they're chilling.
They might last the night, but their water would freeze and they wouldn't be able to drink water or anything. I don't know. I would assume they would freeze to death.
They're wild fucking animals.
They're chickens. They're not wild animals. That is absurd.
They have eagle hearts.
No, they do not.
Yes, the fuck they do. What you hear is an eagle trying to get out. When they're up on the rafters looking, going, yeah! That's a dead eagle.
They do have fucking talons like eagles, dude. Big old claws.
Yeah, you know.
What if chickens actually are genetically mutated eagles?
Or eagles are genetically ungenetically modified chickens.
Someone's like, that eagle would probably taste really good if it couldn't fly and was really fat. Which that's true about anything, I think.
Yeah.
That pilot would taste really good if he was super fat and couldn't fly.
I feel like fat things that don't eat a lot of meat taste probably the best. I feel like the more carnivorous a thing is, the more rough and tough.
Its own meat is?
Yeah. Like a falcon, I feel like wouldn't taste great. It also might not. It might taste awesome, but probably not. I tried coyote one time. That was,
Yeah.
does that mean I've eaten dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, dude.
Or he did for a couple days.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I had to rate it, K9 out of 10. Just dogging.
What else?
Nothing, dude. You're barking up the wrong. What, dude?
Holy shit.
Do you want to pause? Oh, hold up.
Why don't you just hide? What's that shirt? Eat cold anus. Brr, brr, crat, crat. Brr, brr.
Okay, we're back. Kind of. Hopefully that doesn't cut out too.
What are we at on time?
Like 30 something minutes. We could tie it off.
I'd be down to tie it
We
off.
could leave this at the Portland Bridge.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just ditch it.
You can are we doing that show?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We
It's
should-
on our website or anything.
Okay, I'll put it up. We can put it up there and stuff.
Yeah.
I made like a poster flyer type thing for it.
Cool.
People have to
Meadow Creek?
RSVP to it.
Meadow Creek
Yeah.
Golf Course?
Yeah, it's at Meadow Creek Golf Course, and you need to RSVP if you want to go.
Valentine's.
It's on
Day?
Valentine's
It's
Day.
like Wednesday?
Is that a Wednesday?
I think so.
Nice. And you have to message ProShop at meadowcreek.com, I think.
I
I'll
think people would rather buy tickets.
I'll figure it
Yeah.
out. We're doing a lot of time.
We're co-headlining.
We're
Yeah.
co-headlining. No opener.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Should we bring one?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I think we should just do it like one of us goes and then the other. I think that's the best way to do it.
All right, cool.
So you can see one of us tell jokes for 30 minutes and then the other one of us will also do that too. We might kiss between.
That would be so pretty. My parents are going to be there.
My parents won't be. I know that because I told them about it. Anyways.
Stay pretty good. And click the links in the bio. Like and subscribe.